if somebody has a misfit with me, they're just going to say it's because of price, right? They're not going to say it's because you dropped the ball 5 times, Kelly. Most people are not going to be that direct.
If price is the number one reason they're leaving, I think we need to remind them the value of the carrier we currently have them with and our agency.
Hey, it's been like a whole 5 minutes since I've seen you.
Oh,
I missed you.
I feel like it's been more like 5 seconds, but
Possibly.
that's
But
just because your memory lingers in my mind all day, every day, and I think of nothing but how to make Kelly happy.
just think about when we get teleportation, we could just have lunch together. And then go back on our coast.
Like, okay, fine, I gotta go back now. We can always meet in the middle somewhere.
We could have a martini, and then we could have some French fries, and we could just go home.
Truffle fries.
Be in bed by 8.
I like that. I like that even more.
Yeah. What are you doing? You want to meet in Central Time Zone?
Right.
But
I can't till 10 in Central Time.
I know. Well, you time travel I time travel.
I do. Yeah. All the time.
We time travel all the time. So today we're talking about how do we stop losing clients today in an insurance agency. Love this topic because there are some things you can do immediately. So like renewal reviews they are kind of immediate from the perspective that within a couple months you will start to see relief, but it won't stop the people calling in today, right? So one of the strategies I always like to remind people of when we're talking about, cancellations and stopping this today is we need to identify a clear, trained role play process of what happens when someone calls in to cancel. We also need to identify how we get out to people who maybe didn't pay and just flat canceled, right? And didn't tell you, or their other agent sends in the cancellation paperwork, right? So there's like a variety of different ways that you might get a cancellation. In Massachusetts, you'd get a 2A.
Oh.
I know. Mass is very fancy. It does different things. They don't have a DMV. They have a registry.
Oh, okay.
They don't have auto ID cards. They have, auto certificates, auto evidence. It's there's a whole different vernacular in Massachusetts. So the first step is, number 1, Stephen, okay, someone wants to cancel. Who is going to take that phone call?
The person best equipped at the agency to do so.
Right, because if somebody has a misfit with me, they're just going to say it's because of price, right? They're not going to say it's because you dropped the ball 5 times, Kelly. Most people are not going to be that direct. They're just going to, kind of go quietly into the night. Also, I've listened to a whole lot of recorded phone calls where it's like, oh, Stephen, you're saving $200. Wow. I know how tight money is. I understand. I know you'll be back someday.
I'm like, I'm worth 400. So even if it was 200 more than what you're paying now, I'm still worth it. Let's do this.
Yeah. But that mentality of they're saving money, so it's okay, has to be like,
right.
Like, you're breaking up with me. You are breaking up with me. That's not cool. So first of all, who? Maybe it needs to go to a sales agent who is more gifted in saving an account. Yeah. Maybe it needs to go to the lead or the manager. Maybe it just needs to go whoever's next in line. Maybe it does go to the account manager, but that account manager must be trained in what to do. So the second thing I like to do when stopping a cancellation is ask, are you leaving because of price, service, or a life change? Those 3 buckets, right? I need to know what angle I'm going into. So let's talk about it. What do we say, even if it's price?
Oh, price. Breaking my heart here because I know how tight money is, and I would leave you for $1.
You would leave me for a whole $1?
I'm kidding. Oh my goodness. No, but I think that we need to talk to them and make sure they're getting the value they think they're even getting. Did they drop coverages? Did something change? Is the deductible higher? Is it a different term? Are they going to qualify after inspection? ... If price is the number one reason they're leaving, I think we need to remind them the value of the carrier we currently have them with and our agency. What value do we provide, as well as myself? Like, I'm a tenured agent with lots of experience. I can solve your problem. I think it's worth the peace of mind of working with somebody that has a bit of confidence that can answer your questions and make sure you're properly protected.
I like that. That's very good. I'm impressed with your response there. I'm very impressed with your response.
Yeah.
I think the next one is also, okay, so it's service. Then what do we do? Because it's like, I gave you
Ooh.
service. Ish.
Mm.
I think it's a good
It-
learning opportunity.
Be open to the feedback. Like,
Yeah.
ask and engage. Like, hey, so what is it about the service that was unsatisfactory? Or what was it that was a turnoff? Like, ask the open, honest question and listen to their feedback. Maybe they had a claims experience that went awry because something wasn't covered and they thought that it was. And the service had nothing to do with you. Maybe it had to do with the carrier.
Right.
Maybe it was, they were like, well, I called in and the front office person had a snooty attitude and was rude to me.
No.
We can kind of work through that. Well, you told me you were going to call me back twice and you never did. Normally, they won't tell us the issue that they had with us, but some will.
Right.
And then we have to say, okay, cool. Well, thank you for letting me know. I would be frustrated as well. What if I could work to improve this? Would you stay?
Also, sometimes maybe it's a frustration they have with the carrier
Yeah,
and not you, and they didn't know that there was other carriers, right?
correct.
The next one I always like to talk about is, okay, so now it's their life change. I'm selling, I'm moving. I want to remind everybody if they are moving in a state that you have a license in, they can still work with
Yeah. They
you.
don't have to be within 2 miles of your office door.
They do not. It is a fact erroneous, by the way, that that is the case. So those are the big ones. And then, you try to, I especially in personal lines, I try to encourage people if it's price, can we requote them over the phone, Stephen?
I can quickly and get at least the ballpark of what it may be.
If I embrace the use of a rater, I may even have their information already at my
Shut
fingertips.
up. If
But if I
your
reject
brother
the idea of a rater
worked
because
it
that
out,
rate is not accurate.
I don't care if it's 100% accurate. I just need to know, is this rate in the ballpark or is it absolutely astronomical?
Well, also too, I just look at it like data integration. Like the rate, eh, but
They're
you're gonna
leaving
sprinkle
me
it into all these
anyway.
carriers for
Why
me.
not just try one more time to get a yes?
Yeah, you're gonna sprinkle it into these carriers for me. I am here for the taking. I am excited and I cannot wait to make this magic
Absolutely.
happen. And so I think that that's another component. But if all else fails, guys, one of the best strategies that we always evoke is say, great, in order to cancel your policy, I need a copy of your current one to make sure all the dates match. And some
Yep.
people say, no one's going to send that to me. I go, about 70% of people will, because you just make it seem like a step that they have to do. Many people are not going to question this, right? Like if I got that, I'd be like, okay, here you go. It's in my email. What email do I send it to?
Just
Just
want me
take
to
it.
forward it to you. Okay,
I
great.
don't, yeah, you want to match it. And by the way, we have seen times where the dates don't match. We have seen times where like coverages are way, way off. So if somebody really doesn't want to, say, okay, I'll document your file and do it requested as is. So
Yeah.
if there's any issues, this is really a you problem.
I was actually doing a role play with the agency yesterday on talking through some of these things. And one of the people goes, you've already decided to leave. I would just like a second look to make sure that what you have is what you think it is. And if it's all that, I'm going to tell you it's all that. Like,
In
you've
the
already
bag of
decided to
chips.
leave me. But if there's a problem, I want you to be open to hearing my constructive feedback, because all it's going to do is hurt you if you don't. So can you
Yeah,
just send me your deck? And they're like, okay.
that's it.
They're like, I'm going to be open and honest with you. Like, I'm going to tell you if it's a great deal. You've already decided you're leaving. I can only
Yeah,
fight so hard.
that's
But
it.
I also want to make sure that you don't come back crying when I can't help you because you had a boo boo. I
Yeah.
was like, that was kind of amazing, right? Like, they were just like, I'm just gonna own it. I'm gonna be like, well, you already decided to break up with me, but I'm not letting you go so easy. Can you send me photos of your new boyfriend so I can tell you if they're hot or not? And if they're not, I'll tell you why.
Well,
No.
I also think like people can make some mistakes that they don't realize, and they're not insurance agents. So this is your opportunity. And the reason I love getting the policy too, Stephen, is one, before I cancel, I can say, hey, there's a couple concerns I have here. I want to bring them to your attention. Now they start not having faith in new person, right? Two, they might just really not know. Okay. So now I have a copy of this policy I can save. So when I recycle this lead, which is another missing like bridge in insurance, all right, who is going to call this person next year? So now I can recycle it. I have a copy of that policy. And like if the carrier that they're going to is taking a rate increase, voila, I am magically here at the right time to help them come back.
Mhm.
Some people are really like, oh, I can't go back there. I left. They're not going to be happy. Right. So we have to also identify that. But here's the thing, Stephen. I also think agencies have to start calling these cancellations because if you want to win them back, it's so awkward if they just leave and we don't talk to them. But then in a year we say, I want to win your business back. It's like, excuse me, you didn't realize when I was leaving that I was leaving. Why are you now calling me right now?
Right.
I don't think that that's a good look personally. What
Didn't
do you
care
think?
before. Why do you care now?
Yeah. Like what do you, I'm not into it, right?
No.
So that's my 2 cents on it. But do you have any other really good tips for people who are maybe trying to boost their retention? Stop that, like at that moment, people are contacting you.
I think that it's take 2 seconds and ask some open-ended questions. Try to rebuild a relationship with your client. I love going to an agency and I can look at the management system and be like, what's the last 3 things that happened on their account? Great. Oh, hey, Kelly, thank you so much for calling in. It looks like I haven't talked with you before. I'm super excited to get to know you a little bit better and help you out today. So, what's going on?
Mm.
Well, I see you bought a new car 3 months ago. How's that going? How you liking that new car? Or, hey, Kelly, I see that you just upped your number of hours reported on your workers' comp. Things must be going well. Take 2 seconds, find the clue in the system, and use it to your advantage.
Yeah, I agree. And just remember, if you want to work on retention, you do need a saved process. That's the deal. That's the jam. And I think if you don't have one, you're really missing out to help your agency grow. So those are my thoughts about how we stop retention, stop losing clients today. Our next podcast is going to be on the policy renewal secrets. So how at renewal we can really start boosting that client retention. So we're going to give you some of our top tips, hacks, tricks, amazingness. And I can't wait to see you again in a few minutes when we record the next podcast.
I like that even more.
All right. We'll see you guys later. Oh, by the way, check out our retention program. If you like what we have, don't forget, Stephen and I can come out to your agency and do this live or virtual with us directly. Or we have pre-recorded video training or now live virtual training where you can buy a seat for a student in your agency to come learn how to make these beautiful renewal review calls and stop cancellations. So what are you waiting for? Your team needs these tools, and we have such a diverse way of getting them to you. So in person, Stephen and Kelly live virtual, just with your little agency. You can buy seats with other community agencies out there that are like-minded like you and get your team the training or watch videos. Your choice. But there is no excuse at this point, in my humble opinion, of why people wouldn't help get their team the tools that they need. All right, I'm done. All right, I'll see you in the next podcast.